Well, good morning, folks. It's snowing a bit here in Pennsylvania. It's March 26th today of 2025. Just snow flurries right now. Mr. Bush was a private in a trans company in the U.S. Army Transportation Company during First World War. I already shot some video earlier, so they were calling for a little bit of snow today, so might be the last one of the year. We either need it or some rain. We had some warmer temperatures and it really dried stuff out. We'll hit these veterans' graves down this way. Oh, let's go up and hit the Smith family up there. And thanks to the left. Sure, this has been in a video or some pictures prior to. Decided not to venture off too far because I think it's like 35 or 36 today. And we were supposed to get some snow. Alrighty. Not very well marked, that's for sure. Guess we could take a swag at it. There's no way she's still alive. That might be a misplaced flag. Because they're all 2-year-olds, it looks like. That's a shame. I think that's just a misplaced flag, but we're going to leave it there. But these are all like 2-year-old babies. Well, 1, 2, and 2. Did see some walkers a couple minutes ago. Our trees are still down up here in the cemetery. I don't have a chainsaw or anything to cut the wood up, so. Old wine? Oldly wine? He served during the Spanish-American War. I'll have to set the camera down for a minute. He served during the Second World War. He was a Tech 4 in the U.S. Army. Now it looks a little better. You can actually see that I've been doing some work up here, trying to keep the flags restored. Here's another tangled one. Alright, we got it back. They get these tears in them. You get these tears in the flags, and then that's what's usually how they get wrapped up. just says he died in 1906, 57 years old. He was a veteran, and well, that's got to be wrong too, because he died in 1906. And the plate says 1917 to 1918. Interesting. If anything, it was in the Spanish-American War. 57. He wouldn't even have been for the Civil War. Interesting. Yeah, the more you do these things, the more you catch the things you didn't catch in the beginning. The snow squall stopped. That's a plus. I think we're supposed to get some more this afternoon. It's actually looks like it's gonna clear out a little bit. Probably just temporary. Yeah, all the flags look pretty good. It has been pretty windy. It's been warmer too. You can look down the hill and see the flags. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can do this without putting the phone down. Soon all the flags will be replaced where they should be. Worley John, 80, let's see, yeah, 81 when he passed away. And he served during the Second World War. If you don't have any identification on here when they served, usually the plates are decent. Like down here, I don't know what was going on. I found 2 tombs that I videoed priorly too. Here's another Civil War vet. Remember what I said about the sheriff's badge? And it took place from 1861 to 1865. And he was a corporal in 192nd PA Infantry during the Civil War. He was born in August of 1942 and passed away in May of 1892. He was only 50 years old. Here's a multi-war veteran. He served in the Second World War and the Korean War. Grove. He was only 50 when he passed away, and he was a Tech 5 in the U.S. Army. Like I said, he served during the Second World War and the Korean War, which they should have the Korean plate there. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's, I think you place the last, like, flag stand for, I think you identify their wars, but you put up the last war, if I'm not mistaken. Here's one buried. Even the flag holder. They must have had some issues with it. Alright. Must have been a grove or... Yeah, because it all looks like groves. I thought it was a wolf. Who knows? He was in the U.S. Army and served during the First World War. Which was, I have to stand corrected, it was from 1914 to 1918. I've been saying in some of my videos that it was 1917 to 1918, but I was just reading the plate. There she is, Mrs. Sun. Kind of get accustomed to the nicer weather. But it is Still only March, even though we're in the waning days of it. Crows are pretty active. Boothwell, he was a private U.S. Army during the First World War. See, the plate says 1917 to 1918. I knew it was a short war, but it should have made more sense to me. It wasn't that kind of short. It was a four-year war from 1914 to 1918. I know you've seen pictures and video. I like this. I like kind of how it's set. And it's a really big tune, too. Davis. Not quite sure what this engraving means, but maybe somebody else says he answers Lincoln's first call. Amos Davis. Yes, regiment infantry, so he had to have been in the Army. And his wife held on till 1925. He passed away in 1912. Yeah, I always liked how this was set. Ooh, we got 34 people watching. Impressive. YouTube wants me to post like a time that I'm going to do it, but it's not truly live if you're letting everybody know. So it's kind of a surprise. If it works out, it works out. Not saying to bend the rules, but sometimes it's more a surprise than a consistency. There is no way. It has that blending again, which I'm terrible at seeing. But he did serve during the Civil War. 1861 to 1865. Let's get over to this other Civil War, I'm sure. This one was Spanish American. Like I said, I'm pretty close to where I live today. Spanish American, that's that blending that I have terrible. Maybe it's a little more legible for you, but for me it's not. And he served during the Cuba War, the Spanish American War. They had many titles for that war. My walkers must have just went down through, and they were 2 walkers. Hopefully the cemetery gets this one propped back up. I'm not a weak man by any means, but I would say that weighs a couple 100 pounds. And it's not the risk of flipping it up all by myself, but it's the risk of cracking or breaking the tomb if I don't get it the whole way up. Served during the Civil War also. For me, they're the easiest ones to identify because they have, looks like a sheriff's badge from back in the day. I'm surprised I've seen some flags tangled up. Like this one here, and I'll get it here in a minute. Over in the other graveyard over in Rose Hill, this is Greenwood Cemetery. Rose Hill's over there about 1.5 miles. I have seen some people with the warmer weather out paying respect to their loved ones that passed away. There again, just a simple marker. This is wife. Some of these, it just doesn't make it, neither heads nor tails. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But Miami, I believe. Oh, the wind's blowing a little bit today too. It's always kind of windy here in Altoona. Once you get out from the city limits. And I'm fortunate enough I live right at the edge of the city limits, so I can go in and do my grocery shop and come back to my more urban area. More urban area is located to the left of where I live. So actually, for a city, I live in a pretty nice country area, if you would call it that. He was a Tech 5 in the U.S. Army during the Second World War. He was born October 21st, 1920, and passed away March 23rd, 1978. He was 58 years old. Look here. Get this flag straightened out. And look, we got a few hills here, too. Oh, this one's going to be a simple one. These plates been around too, pretty good, based on the wind. Okay. I'm pretty sure this guy's been in a couple of my videos too. Bradley Robert. U.S. Army, Second World War, was born February 23rd, 1913, passed away April 24th of 1984. So he was, what, 70, 71? Yeah, 71. Uphill here a little bit. I'm sure these have been in videos priorly. Like I said, all these videos are just test fires. If it catches on, so be it. If it don't, I'll go back to. I'm still going to implement the shorts videos because it seems like that draws a lot of interest. I have some good news to share too. I think I'm right around 2,000 followers, almost close to 1 million views on my channel. What else? Oh, I'm over 3,000 hours watched on my YouTube channel. And once I hit 4,000 hours, which should be in another month or two, I can become monetized. So, but I think I mentioned in other live videos, it's not the money for me, it's about the respect. And I don't think unless they force me to do it, I don't think I'll ever go through with the monetization from it. Unless it's going to benefit, like, veterans. And if you have anything to give or give of your time, maybe come out, shoot the same style videos, or go to your local VA to see if they need more volunteers. There we got it. I believe that's a tulip that came up. No flower expert. I know the ones you can eat and you can't eat, so can't and can eat. Always like this tune too. Corporal in the U.S. Army during the Second World War. He was born September 19th of 2028 and passed away January 10th, 1981. And if I'm not mistaken, I think 1981, oh, I'd have been a young man. Well, I'd have been, yeah, a kid then. I'd have been about 11 years old. I think we had I think it's 78, 79, 80, and 81, we had some really bad winters. High winds, feet of snow. I'm pretty sure it was 77 or 78, 1978 or 77. We had like quite a few storms, and the snow was just unreal. feet of snow. We'd actually burrow tunnels or walkways to see the neighbors. There wasn't a whole lot of traffic out, that's for sure. And then in that era, we weren't really equipped for it, even though it wasn't that very long ago. Trying to clean this up so you guys can see it a little bit. He was a private in the 72nd Company Transportation Corps during the First World War, which was from 1914 to 1918. Still in the 30s or 40s for people watching currently. I know it ain't the Super Bowl or anything, but I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Not even quite sure what it is. There's a hero at some point. Or her, Adams. Got some severe growth here. And these were planted at one point. There's a spot back here in the corner we'll walk up to. I don't know if I've ever videoed. I know I've taken some pictures and did some short videos there. What we got here? I can't even read it. Thanks, Robert. McNanny. There was one over there, I believe, with the same last name. Got some damage to the flag too. The other cemetery I was too, man. I just have to wait till the weather is more consistent. It's over there about 2.5, 3 miles. It wasn't a walk, it was just, man. There's a pile of veterans buried there. Got 2 flags down, 3. So hopefully we have some marked tombs here. Unfortunately we don't. It's probably attached to this one, I would imagine. This looks like, no, this is actually, I'll set the phone down here for a second. I'm not sure if that's where it goes, but there's a flag holder, and here's one that the flag, I might have removed it. It might have been in pretty bad shape. No marker on that one, but we got a flag laying out in the middle of nowhere. I'll just put it with another veterans. Go up here and check. No, there's no engraving on it. Well, that's why it's important to check the tombstones. There's another flag, so we'll just put this one with that one. I'm pretty sure this is where this one goes. Alright, set the phone down for a minute. Alrighty, we got the marker straightened out, flag stand, and got this flag. It's in, as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. Almost where I'm considering taking it. Better not to have one here than to have one all beat up and torn that's going to blow off or rip off anyhow. Herman. He was born in 1890, passed away in 1964, and was a veteran of the First World War. I'll just put this down right here. Oh, there's another veteran. I don't believe I've ever seen this one. I've seen the marker, but I didn't realize it was a veteran because there's nothing here. Veteran. I'm going to butcher that name up. So he was a sergeant, and then 996 whatever that means. Air Squadron. He served during the Second World War. If nobody puts a flag there, I'll put one there. See, here's another one. I'll just physically remove it when I get back to it. It's half torn off the flag staff, so, which means it's eventually going to just tear off. So, and that's pretty common for me to take them. Like I said, it's better not to have a flag there than to have one all beat and torn. I was born, Vernon, 1992 to 1991. He was a Second World War veteran. I'm glad I did come over here. I've been finding quite a few of them here in the thicket because of the wind blowing them, ripping them off. See how it's like 3/4 torn off? It's just gonna come off and get stuck or over in the thicket or whatever, and really show disrespect. So I'll just remove it. And it didn't take much to get it off the flagstaff. When I initially first come up here, I didn't realize there was that many veteran graves up here, because the flags were down and some were a good distance from the actual grave site. But even with your eyes in the video, you can actually see the flags up now, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do it too. Here we go. Rice, Ralphie. He was born in 1895 and passed away in 1966. He was a private in the 10th Transportation Corps during the First World War. He doesn't even, his is pretty butched up. Looks like actual lawnmower hit it. David Berry was born 1921, passed away in 1971, was served in the Second World War and the U.S. Navy. He was only 50 years old. Ooh, we're almost up to 30 minutes of me babbling. No more shed antlers either. Haven't found any. Not that I was really overly looking for them, but it's one of them things that shows up. The neighbor was quite impressed with it. So, served during the Vietnam War. Oh, I must have videoed because there's a penny there. And I haven't seen anybody up here. Lawver, he was a specialist. They called them Spec 4s because I believe they had Spec 4s, 5s, 6s, I believe. He was born in 1980, January 18th, 1941, and passed away October 21st, 2013. Oliver, born 1898, passed away in 1958. Not very old either, 60. He was a private battery 5th Field Artillery during the First World War. Unless the plate says something different. No. See, it's still, all of these have 1917 to 1918. So the actual war was 1914 to 1918. What do we got up here? I'm sure it's not a veteran, but probably looks pretty for most of the part of the year. In the winter, it doesn't look. Nice little cover here. It looks like somebody's been trimming it up a little bit. And somebody's brought some. A lot of cemeteries don't want the artificial flowers and bows and stuff like that, because it gets stuck in their weed eaters, and it's more of a cosmetics thing. Winter. That cross hasn't been replaced in a long time. Winter. He was born in 1889 and passed away in 1953. Doesn't give any details, not that I can legibly see, what branch of the military he served in. That's actually how the top of the tombstone is. I've never seen one like that before. Pretty cool. I'm sure you remember this one too. There again, it's kind of cloudy for me. He served during the First World War. It's blended in too much for me. Maybe you viewers can see it better than I can. Yeah, definitely did a video or something, because there's a penny. What's nice about what I'm doing, I don't run into a bunch of people. And as far as I can tell, I'm the only one. I started this. There's been a couple other people I've actually even asked them to start doing some videos like this, honoring our veterans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk down along, I call this the deer graveyard. They're even dragging right there. People discarding their carcasses because they over-harvested whitetails. You didn't hear it here, but I don't mind them doing it as long as they're taking care of the animal and using all the parts. Not that that's the legal thing to do, or they're feeding people, but to dispose of it that way, it's kind of, I guess it runs hand in hand on ethics there. Because primarily we get the winds out of the west and northwest, and that would be this direction. The wind blows, so I always check the thicket here. I've had one day where I found like 3, I believe, just in this thicket. And it's an older style graveyard, not paved. Due to kids watching this too, there's a carcass over here. it's like totally exposed. So I won't show any of it. I more or less do this about once a week. I come up to this graveyard if the weather's better. If the weather's not better, that's what I mean. I sort of go to the other graveyards when the weather's nicer. I don't see any flags. See a lot of debris. Might take a day and come up here and just clean stuff up. For a hole, I haven't had to pick up a whole lot of trash. Not yet. Often when the weather changes, the people that's been hiding in their houses get out. Not the ones that own the homes, the people that are living with other people. Because it's nicer weather, they don't have to, they can endure 30 to 40 degree nights. No flags. Oh, that's a cool one. Must have walked by it too. Not a big car guy, but I would say that looks like a Chevy Nomad. I think it's 50s or 60s. And there lays either where there was a dead deer or somebody threw a hide in there. I'm banking on they just threw the hide in there. This guy here definitely needs a flag replacement. This thing looked like it was a Jiffy Lube for about 4 years, and they were using it for a cloth. Irvine. There are a lot of them in here too. He was a PFC in the U.S. Army during the Second World War. I have a penny on it too. He was born in 1927 and passed away in 1990. Yeah, you can correct me on the car, but it looks like a Chevy Nomad series. Not 100% sure, but that's kind of what it looks like. So this is usually how I end up my day, whether I video it or not. I just kind of look around to make sure all the flags are in decent shape, and that if there's any stuck in the thicket, they usually stick out pretty clearly when they're stuck in it. This guy's a veteran too. Not sure why I walked by this, but Pauline, she wasn't very old, 17. Well, heck, he wasn't very old either. Passed away. Webster, William, Pennsylvania, PFC, the 594 Engineer Regiment during the Second World War. Definitely do a video, maybe get a flag for in here too. He doesn't even have a flag holder. Something else must have grabbed my attention while I missed that one. Or maybe it was when I first started doing videos, which was about 6 months ago, so I'm pretty happy with my progression. And if it dwindles away, to me, it's no big deal, because I'm doing this to show respect and honor for our veterans. And hopefully someday, when I pass away, somebody else keeps this tradition going. Like I said, I've been asking some other people that are doing like cemetery videos, gravestones. I've asked a few, and some of them's complied, and some really don't either respond or don't think it's that great of an idea. I know you've seen this one. This was a really liked one here. I believe 20 or 30,000 views and a couple hundred likes on it. And I think this guy was just a standard veteran. 1975, so he'd only been 15 for the Gulf War. but he could have been in Afghanistan or Iraq the second time around. It's just not marked yet. I would bank he was just a veteran. He served. He served in, what's it say? It doesn't really say what branch he served in. This flag here, too, is all tangled. So, like I said, at the end of my day, I even do it in the other graveyards. I try to look around for obvious flags down or stuck in the brush. And as you can see, this place could definitely do a little cleanup. Oh, this guy was in the Marine Corps and he received a Purple Heart. And a Purple Heart is rewarded for a person that got shot in combat. He was a corporal in the United States Marine Corps during the Second World War. Born October 9th, 1926. Passed away March 12th of 1997. Just doing a quick glance here and then we'll wrap this up. Like I said, if you have any comments, I'm on TikTok and Instagram also. And I think my Instagram account's Vet88. I'm not on it a whole lot because in the past I was on that, put a lot of time and effort into it, and that was the same kind of, like, not rewards program, but I got eligible. I believe I got eligible for monetization, like where I was going to get paid, and then I had a bunch of problems with my account. Had a bunch of fake accounts pop up, so they actually shut down my account and wouldn't send me any passcode for it to get back in. I guess there was a bunch of problems with the account. Even though I was legit, it was the people trying to, I guess, take the money that I would have been making. I'm not sure about the whole process. All I know is I put some time and effort in it, and it was pretty cool. Total opposite of what I'm doing now. I'm honoring veterans there. I was fly fishing. This flag's gonna need taken, and I'm gonna take it. I think it was one that I noticed priorly to being up here. It only takes a couple minutes to do these things too, so I just like looking up on the ridges and on the flats, and you can see all the veterans' flags. Like I said, I initially started doing this in October. It wasn't like this. Not even close. And we're starting to get some more snowfalls. I'm going to put down the camera so I can get this flag. It was another simple extraction. Instead of throwing this down, I usually try to put it in a visible spot where people can see it. I believe I'm going to walk over here. It looks like it's some kind of maintenance shed, probably for a lawnmower. I'm going to make it visible there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good up here. Like I said, when I get on that side of town again, I'm probably next week at some point. Oh, we got another flag. Not torn, just tangled up. Which probably a half hour after I do this, it'll set the phone down again. Alrighty, got that one straightened out. This one's been in plenty of videos and pictures. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over here. Looks like a buck's been rubbing through here too. Makes sense. Yeah, definitely buck rubs. Probably a scrape in here at some point too. Scraping, rubbing on that side. Very limited, so I would say it was just marking because the does are traveling. The buck marks this. There has to be a scrape, original scrape in here someplace. There's the groundhog. Alrighty, we're gonna walk this over. Hopefully the cemetery gets up here when the weather gets better and clears that all up. Like I said, one over by Prospector's Pool, it actually has a lot of veterans in it, so sits on top of you. Kind of go down through a little bit of a valley, and then you have to get to the cemetery. It's a pretty lengthy hike, and the hills are quite steep. It's looking like it's going to snow again. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks everybody for watching. Like I said, leave a comment on maybe my most recent, if you enjoyed the video or not, or other comments. I have it designed, set up for kids, so no cursing, swearing, and I decided just to keep the comments off too, just in case somebody get a little belligerent on the live feed. Like I said, I'm doing this for honor, folks, so I'm going to continue to do this, whether it actually reaches people so they do a little bit more for the veterans. Every little bit helps, that's for sure. All right, enjoy your day. Thanks for watching.